Welcome back, my internet friends. Wow, I have had a day today. I'll tell you about it here in a minute. But we will be going over the pink blanket once more. And when it was found, when the pieces of the pink blanket and other materials were found, I will be showing you transcripts from the dispatch. And we'll be going over that, as the dispatch is kind of hard to listen to, but I do have the transcripts. Now, this supposedly, there's not too much information other than, and it's all together, it was all at once, from my understanding from the dispatch transcripts, that this, so there's two photos that have been floating around. I'm going to start with that, guys, okay? It was this one right here, which is Lilly's. This blanket here is, in fact, the ripped piece of blanket of Lilly's. It's called, the name of the blanket is called an LOL doll blanket. And I'm going to show you that in just a second. I might not be able to find the exact one, but I'm going to show you that that's what it's called. LOL doll. Had no idea. And then this piece supposedly was another ripped piece of blanket, or was a full blanket. Because Lilly's was ripped. This one here is just, and this is more of a hot pink. Now, Lilly's is more of a light pink with hot pink, like stripes or something, right? Is that what you said? And it looks like these LOL doll blankets have like little faces and stuff on it. This looks like an eye, like a little mouth or something. But I'm going to give my speculation at the end of this video about what I think happened here with this blanket. But first off, I'm going to show you the dispatch transcripts, and we're going to play Daniel's message, or basically interview, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, on Daniel's show. Daniel on Daniel's show. So I'm going to play that as well, so we can kind of get an idea. Now, what it shows, the time frame was between like 3 to 4 o'clock that this was found by the searchers. Now, supposedly that's when all of it was found. Now, I know there was a star. Remember the sticker star that I'm going to show you. There was a sticker star that was found, and I'm going to zoom in here. For some reason, it didn't save but I know exactly where it's at, so I don't need to have it saved. It's right here. So there was like 2 staging areas, guys. In the beginning of dispatch, I've listened to so much of it. I'm telling you, there was a staging area up here. So this is Matheson West Road, and it connects to the 289, aka Gairloch Road, that Jack and Lilly lived on. Now, if you remember Janie talking how when she first went out, she put her shoes, got her jacket on, after witnessing Malaya standing in front of her RV, she went out, she left, went up the old road, and came back down to the 289. And then by the time she got there, she could hear the sirens when she was on her way. And then the cops were there. Police, RCMP, whatever you want to call, were there when she got there. Now, later on, when she's talking to Daniel on his channel, not Daniel Martel, we'll just call him DT, she expanded this search into 6 acres. She said it was 6 acres. Somehow, Janie was able to do that within like 10 to 15 minutes. Remember, I questioned that before. But hey, I don't know. Maybe she had roller skates or something on. So, not to get off subject, but they had a staging area on this road too. Okay. This is called the Landsdowne Station Road. And it's not confused with the Landsdowne Road where Earl, Janie, and Janie's brother lives over in this area. Where the blanket and then the boot print was found, railroad tracks, remember? Okay. Let me show you those LOL doll blankets. And before we get into this, please make sure you are subscribed to this channel and click that bell for notifications. That way you're always notified and you're not catching old videos within like 5 days. All right, guys, let's get started.
And this pink blanket that they found, was it something that they found close to the house? Or?
I'm not sure the location where it was found. There was a pink blanket. There was a water bottle. There was a children's T-shirt. And there may have been a sock or socks too, showing me as well. But none of them belonged to Lilly's, right? I mean, none of them were Lilly's. None of them were Jack's.
Do you know if all those items were found at the same place, or were they found throughout?
I'm not sure where they were found. I was just told that, or any of these items, Lilly and Jack's, we found them during the search.
Were they photographed together?
No, they were not photographed. They were photographed individually.
Okay, so most likely then they were not found together.
Yeah.
And around what time was this blanket, the full one that didn't belong to them? When was that one found?
That was found, it would have been during the daytime. So, because I remember I was actually standing on the front deck when she brought her phone up to show me. So that would have been sometime during the day. So I'm saying between. Okay,
so here, this is called a LOL doll blanket, and I just put in light pink. So this is a brand of blankets. Nothing special. You know what I mean? But we can go back and see that that's similar to how Lilly's blanket looked. Now, we were told this was a piece of her blanket, so it was ripped. Now, I'm showing you this because I remember there was something stated that they were using it in a window or a door. Maybe you could put it down below. Because they ripped it because it was dry rotted or something like that, to block a draft. But since it's gotten warmer, they took it out, okay? Daniel put it in the trash with Janie. From my assumption, it was just Janie and Daniel there at the trash, and Janie says to Daniel, "Don't fill it so full." And he even mentions this in his video. Mom says, "Don't fill the trash too full because it's too heavy to carry," which Janie shouldn't be carrying it. Daniel should be. He's the man. But that's just my opinion. But if you look here now, this is a recent picture, I believe, or maybe not too recent, maybe from the end of July. It looks like maybe they're cleaning up or something. But you could see here that there is a bright pink blanket. Right here, bright pink blanket. And I'm just going to kind of go over some of these little messages here. It says that pink blanket in the window, when was it taken out? Okay, and then I don't really see any answers. I was looking maybe, oops, nope, I don't want to do that. Don't want to message her. It's not a curtain, but it's a pink blanket in question. So who took it down is the question. So I was looking to see maybe if Daniel or somebody maybe had answered. So I think what's going on here is, and I'm the same way, okay? I thought there was one blanket. Just one single blanket. From my understanding in the beginning, there was one single blanket. And like I said, it was dry rotted. Okay, it was dry rotted. I know I heard this. And one piece of it was used to, here we go. Someone said There were 2 pieces of Lily's old pink blanket, talking about the light-colored LOL one that I just showed you. One piece was used to cover the window, and one was used to cover the door crack. Okay, so there's 2 pieces at the bottom of the door. Daniel removed both pieces on Monday or Tuesday before Lilly and Jack went missing. He put the 2 pieces in a garbage bag and walked the garbage bag to the end of the driveway. Well, I don't think this actually happened, and I'll tell you in a minute. Then he said he put the garbage bag in a wooden box and latched it. Then someone came and opened the wooden box, unlatched it. They ripped open the garbage bag and removed one piece of the 2 pieces of the blanket and planted it in a tree on Landsdowne Road. The other piece remained in the garbage bag. The RCMP came and got it and took both pieces away. What's interesting is the same people who planted the blanket in the tree were the same people who found it in the tree. Now, this is speculation. This is speculation. And this is where I'm going to come in and I'm going to say something. Because there were 2 people. I'm going to be logical here, guys. We're going to actually, let's start from the beginning. Daniel removes Lily's blanket that was ripped in half. 1 piece in the window, 1 piece under the door. But you could clearly see this is not the blanket. That's not the blanket, guys. The blanket, it's completely different color. Completely different color. You have a stripe here, but the rest of the blanket's light pink, okay? So Daniel removes both pieces, throws it in a trash bag. His mom is there witnessing this, okay? So from my understanding, it's just Janie, it's just Daniel. Because there's nobody else mentioned in the video. Nobody else is mentioned there, okay? So it's 2 people. Daniel throws in the trash, ties it up, puts it in a thing for it to be taken out or burned or however they do their trash there. Maybe burn. Anyway, so somehow, some unknown person, and I say unknown, who would know that Daniel and Janie threw these 2 pieces of blanket away in the trash? Then Daniel is saying that the blanket was not on Landsdowne Road around 2-something in the afternoon, because that's when the bus came through the area. Okay, and then somehow in between, this is crazy, in between 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock, some person, while RCMP and everybody's there, dug into the trash. Dirty trash, guys, dirty trash. Grabbed just 1 single piece of blanket out and threw it on a tree. Who's going to do that? Now, the woman that found, well, it was Malaya's family. I believe it was Hayden, Cheryl. So I believe Cheryl's a nurse. I could be wrong. But who is going to reach inside a trash bag? Why would they do that? They didn't even know it was in there. They weren't even there the day that Daniel and Janie threw it away. So that's crazy to me. That's crazy. Who would know that blanket, these 2 pieces of blanket, were in the trash bag and then would dig it out in front of searchers, police officers, and everybody else to go plant it in a tree? Who would do that? Now, the other piece of blanket, I've heard that Daniel pulled out the second piece of blanket and had Justin video record him, Justin, his brother, video record him. Logan was standing there, I believe. And then Daniel called the RCMP to come over and be like, hey, someone got in the trash, took out one piece and planted it in the tree. Now, when you look at this blanket here, this looks like to be just a small baby blanket. But doesn't it look like the same color as this? Now, it's probably not the same one, but I just find it odd that there's a hot pink small blanket covering a small window, and then they find this one. Now, I thought it was just one piece of blanket that was ripped in half, which was just the light pink one. See, I thought this was maybe, I don't know, the picture was brightened up or the pink. I wasn't real sure. So, because this was floating around before this one. See, guys, there's so many stories within this timeline. There's so many additions to the story. There's so many takeaways from it. That's why so many people are confused. There shouldn't be anything being taken away or adding. I mean, maybe adding if you forgot something small. But think about this, guys. Why would you plant? Why would someone dig in the trash, someone that didn't know, only 2 people knew about that blanket, that ripped piece of blanket, the 2 halves in the trash bag. Why, how would that happen? And then plant it down the road by 3 people's properties. Janie's brother, and Janie's ex-husband, Daniel's father. Then the boot prints. The boot prints, guys. So it's telling me it's leaving breadcrumbs. It's leaving breadcrumbs. Now, I heard the canine, the cadavers, the human remains detection dogs are, search the pipeline and stuff. It's Daniel stated it in his messages. And I'm not going to go into Daniel and the canine handler's conversation. I'm not going to do that. I just think that's odd. I just think that's just odd. But anyway, so they went around like the pipeline and stuff like that to check out to see if they could find anything. This is just my speculation on this. I think whoever took the kids, took the piece of blanket out, made a trail of breadcrumbs to make it look like the kids went a certain pathway, went a certain way. Why? Because this would have police, cadavers and stuff searching along this way when the children can be completely opposite direction. Okay? Where are you going to focus on most? Is places where you found pieces of blanket, boot prints, footprints, and all that, right? So it would make basically everybody focus in here. Now, yes, they did search here, but they went like this, kind of like a, I believe they did search here, but because there's Matheson West Road here, and they did search this lake, the Landsdowne Lake. So what do you guys think? That's just my speculation. I think whoever took the kids, hurt the kids, they want the police, their attention on this area here and not on this area out here, correct? So if you're hiding something and you don't want somebody to find that something that you're hiding, you're gonna try to like make it seem like it's somewhere else, right? Right. Okay. Let's go to the transcripts from the RCMP, and I'm going to show you the RCMP documents. So we're going to show you the dispatch and the documents pertaining to the blankets. Stay tuned. Okay, first part. This is the dispatch, guys. Okay. I'm just going to read the blanket part. Okay. Family has brought us to a location there, not far away, that there's a partial piece of a blanket, which the mother says she believes it belongs to her daughter, Lilly. It's just off the road here and off the UPU status. You see, Bravo, I'm just not even going to read that part. Yeah, we just stopped to Landsdowne Road off the 289. Did we say we found an article? Possibly. There's a couple other pieces of old clothing here. It says pieces just torn. And then I'm going to go down to the second one. Okay. Pieces of rag, but there's piece on the side of the road. All right. And then they just say, and this is all basically that's in dispatch about the pink blanket. Now I'm going to go to, all right, I've put blanket in here in the search bar, and I'm going to read everything that has to do with blanket. Okay. I'm even going to read this part where it says Jack had his blanket and dinosaur, and she shut his door. Basically when she put them to bed that night. Part 2. Okay. This says pink blanket located during search. On May 2nd, 2025, family members taking part in search for Jack and Lilly located a pink blanket. In the following, it just says when Haley, so it was Haley, Hayden, and Hayden's girlfriend came out of the woods to say they found a pink blanket in the woods and a tree on Landsdowne Station Road. They showed a picture to Malaya and Daniel, who confirmed the blanket belonged to Lilly. Well, I believe Daniel said it didn't, but Malaya said it did. All right, let's go to the next part. And then it just says Mason drove Haley, Hayden, and Hayden's girlfriend back to the location where they saw the blanket. They seized the blanket. Martin and his police dog were called to the area. He took photographs of the blanket. He walked for about 1 kilometer in the area. Okay. And then it says, there's just some notes. As I read a report written by Hayes dated May 8th regarding the search beneath the trailer where Jack and Lilly lived. And then it says, I had a conversation detailing a pink blanket being found in the search area belonging to Lilly Sullivan. I also read Corporal's task action report dated May 5th. Now it says, with his dog on an adjacent trail, they did not pick up a scent to complete a track. The other part of the blanket was seized from Malaya and Daniel's house. It was located inside of a trash bag at the end of the driveway. All right, and then it continues on May 5th at 11:07. It says they seized the blanket and compared it with image of the blanket seized from the residence. She believed they were pieces of the same blanket. Okay, talking about the piece that was left inside the trash bag and the piece in the tree. She confirmed it was exactly 1 kilometer from Jack and Lily's residence. One more thing that I want to read and go over. It's just short. It's talking about the footprint or boot print. Okay. So this is the canine unit. This is not the cadaver or the human remains dogs. This was on May 2nd. This was the day that this was around 4:52. Okay, so this is right outside the time that they found the partial piece of blanket. It says a canine unit that is tasked to look for the footprint. Okay. It says, talking about the dog, he went towards the main row there, on the pipeline. We're done at that site. The dog did not get a trail or anything like that from those footprints. It says she used the blanket. So they used the piece of blanket that they had found just recently to try that when the dog, I guess, tracked to the footprints, because it's right over, pretty much just a little bit up the road. The dog could not continue to get a scent from that, guys. So I wanted to show you that right there. And this was on the Landsdowne Road, okay? I appreciate each and every one of you for watching today. And let me know your thoughts below on this blanket. Did you, if you thought there was just one single blanket that had been ripped in half, put a 1 down in the comments. If you knew there was two separate blankets, okay, put a 2 down in the chat. All right, guys, thanks for watching.